Hi, my name is Grace Turner, and today I want to address the far too common question, where did the teachers go? As we are at the close of Teacher Appreciation Week, I urge you to always remember your teachers. Throughout the nation, schools are facing a drastic shortage of teachers, with the issue dating back to the Great Recession. Very low numbers of high school graduates enroll in teacher education programs, and even those who do become educators quit their jobs soon after due to burnout or demoralization. Teachers feel they must escape their jobs, taking a toll on their fellow educators and the students they teach. With the loss of teachers, schools begin to face the problem of poorly prepared educators, and the cycle continues. The state of California ranks third for the highest teacher shortage in the country, with the nearby Sacramento County possibly being the worst in the state. At the start of the school year, some of the largest districts in California were short anywhere from 30 to 50 teachers, as many did not return from the previous year. The retirement rate for teachers also went up 26% in California alone since the 2020 school year. This is not only a local problem, but stretches across the globe. The largest deficits in teachers are seen in sub-Saharan Africa, where 90% of secondary schools are facing a serious teacher shortage, and in Southern Asia. To reach universal basic education by 2030, the world needs 69 million teachers. Classrooms are already overcrowded, with primary education teachers in low-income countries having 52 pupils per class on average. Respect through compensation for teachers is also a worldwide issue, with 6 out of 10 countries paying teachers less than professionals with similar qualifications. Teacher burnout is a frightening reality and one of the most common causes of the lack of teacher retention. Burnout is feeling trapped in an exhausting and stressful situation with little time or energy for family or self. Causes of burnout include low autonomy, lack of resources, feeling overworked without appropriate compensation, classroom management difficulties, and poor workplace relationships. Lack of support from parents, staff, and administration, as well as an overwhelming number of unreasonable expectations, were the most common causes for burnout seen within our school and our local community. This is an extreme struggle for educators, as 52% of K-12 workers say they are burnt out, and there's a 14% gap between the burnout rate in K-12 teachers and the burnout rate of other professions. Even a majority of teachers at Faith Christian High School reported feeling burnout at work. This high burnout rate is often not being combated, however, because 66% of educators don't believe their schools have measures in place to help fight teacher burnout. Due to this, there's a mass exodus of teachers, resulting in 44.6% of teachers leaving their first 5 years in the classroom. A lesser-known factor in the issue of teacher retention is demoralization. Demoralization can be a precursor to burnout, but is not the same thing. Demoralization points to a normative problem the teachers see with the context of their work. There's a distance between their moral beliefs and the conditions in which they teach, meaning they are consistently asked to do something outside their moral boundaries in the classroom. The issue reaches a climax when the teacher believes they are violating the basic moral expectations educators should embody. Fortunately, a very low level of demoralization was reported within our school. One factor forcing out teachers is stress. 75% of teachers say they feel frequent job-related stress, close to double the 40% of frequent stress reported by other US adults. In 2021, 91% of teachers say their job has negatively affected their mental health. Teachers accumulate stress because they become expected to educate, advocate for special services, and make sure children are fed, clothed, emotionally balanced, healthy, and safe, as well as serving in other positions around the school. This leads to 46% of teachers working more than 50 hours every week, and a much greater percentage only working slightly less. While spending so much time at school, teachers often experience horrible work conditions in their work environment. 75% of teachers say their work conditions have worsened in the last 5 years. Teachers are encountering assaults, threats, broken bones, and concussions in the workplace, and often feel very unsafe due to the threats made against them. Teachers' health also suffers due to the physical environment of their schools, which may have unchecked leaks and mold. Their environment also is either often too hot or too cold, because schools will decide temperature control is not in the budget. Even teachers at seemingly affluent schools face this common issue. The common school schedule does not care for teacher health. Teachers will often get a 30 to 40-minute lunch break, while other professionals get an hour. In many states, teachers may also be given duties during their lunch period because the break is not mandated. Teachers find themselves going countless hours without using the restroom or skipping meals to accomplish work with an overbearing schedule. Many teachers leave their profession because they are forced to choose between their health and their career. One of the greatest and most detrimental deterrents for teachers is they do not feel respected as professionals in their field. Teachers face disrespect from students, parents, and even their administration. The true issue with teacher compensation is that what they are getting paid for their work does not measure up to that of their professional counterparts. 55% of teachers who left their classroom position for a non-teaching education job are now getting paid more, and 49% who moved to a non-education job earn more with less stress. Along with proper compensation, teachers do not feel respected with their time. Teachers spend countless hours sitting through presentations when they should have time to grade, plan, prep, and collaborate. Teachers do not feel respected as professionals by their administration and rate lowest in feeling their opinions count at work. Daily, teachers also struggle with the lack of support and even harassment from the parents of their students. If a parent shows no respect for the teacher, why should the child? Teachers battle parents that believe their child before the teacher without investigating and receive pushback instead of support for their decisions. In addition, teachers also become expected to be the caretaker of their students, and not just the teacher, while the parent gets to play the friend. Parents wanting to only befriend their child leads to serious behavioral issues in school. These escalating issues cause teachers harm mentally and physically, while also harming the education of other students. Those who have control over teachers often do not respect, support, or understand teachers properly, leading to teacher fear and isolation. Administrators who have not spent much time teaching do not understand the current classroom experience. They get focused on other projects and do not understand the commitment it takes to be a good teacher. Admin must be knowledgeable in the grade levels they are supervising, or they will not be able to offer support effectively. Especially in high poverty urban areas, teachers' greatest factor for concern is little admin support. A balance must be maintained as teachers often feel they are thrown in sink or swim scenarios. Part of support is preparation, and in the first few years of teaching, educators do not feel properly prepared and equipped by their schools. This problem is seen within Faith Christian, as teachers reported receiving classes last minute with little to no curriculum. Teachers receiving the proper support and resources cuts the turnover rate in half. Teachers need to be supported, not controlled. Following disrespect and teacher isolation, many educators leave their jobs because they feel unheard and controlled by those with less experience. Teachers are seen as the face of what is wrong with education with little to no decision-making power. They adhere to decisions and then get harassed for their compliance. Education policies are made by administrators or school board members, not teachers. 60% of teachers believe they had no significant influence in school decisions that would affect them all year. The decisions of schools and school districts are often complicated, bouncing between inexperienced committees before they are spit out, causing teachers to quit creativity or just quit altogether. A teacher in the Yuba Center community put out a plea saying, "Stop all the old-fashioned, stop all the mandates and checklists and treating students like robots, and bring back old-fashioned learning and passion." Lack of faculty influence is in the top 5 highest factors for why teachers quit their job. Teachers desiring to leave and leaving the profession they love has a dire impact on the students in the future of education. Without a consistent teacher, students get behind in their learning with no sense of stability or safety. When teachers are put in tight situations and not taken care of, students feel the repercussions, even though they may not be able to identify the source. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation found in a study on teacher health and stress, when teachers are highly stressed, students show lower levels of both social adjustment and academic performance. When a teacher is not supported or is even bullied by the parent, the students do not learn boundaries and discipline. Students seeing teachers continue to struggle and quit will not desire to become teachers themselves, increasing the gap between physicians and educators. Our future is being harmed by our president. I chose this topic because I come from a family of teachers and have now started the process of becoming a teacher myself one day. For most of my life, I dreamed of becoming an actress, but was constantly reminded it was a risky and brutal career. In the middle of high school, I started to see the world as I do now, and I decided I may not want acting as a career and started to pursue the classroom. I saw this as a safe option, but came to find out this career may be as brutal and risky as my original choice. Now, instead of people worrying about my dream, I have people warning me about my goal. However, no matter the risk, I'm going forward in faith that God will walk with me through life's challenges. Ultimately, teachers quit because they're not being treated as God expects. If we look to the Word, we will find many solutions to recurring classroom problems. Teachers are to be treated with love and respect, as the scripture says in Matthew 7:12. So in everything, do to others as you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets. Teachers should not be treated as lesser in respect, support, or compensation. The Bible also provides a model for clear communication in James 1:19, saying, "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." If this model was incorporated into schools, teachers would feel more heard and fewer conflicts would arise. Through all of this, it is important for teachers to be mentored and supported, have time to collaborate with colleagues, and be refreshed. Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." In the history of the church, rabbis, or teachers, were revered. They taught the law and were highly respected by adults and then taught their children to do the same. This is not translated as well in the modern church with the separation of church and state. The modern church, the body of Christ, can provide their support to teachers by purchasing supplies on sale, providing books for class libraries, stocking staff rooms with food and treats, adopting a teacher in your church, congratulating the achievements of the teachers at your church in an announcement or bulletin board, or praying for them by name. The responsibility to correct the issue of teacher retention lies on all involved. To provide a proper workplace for teachers, schools need to put an emphasis on school safety and develop an explicit plan for dangerous situations, as well as a school behavioral plan. Schools must check in with teachers on their safety concerns and make it a priority to provide support for staff well-being. A big item of importance under work conditions is a duty-free lunch, which provides for teachers' mental and physical health. States such as Colorado, Maine, Nevada, New Hampshire, and North Dakota, and Rhode Island have duty-free break laws, but they are not applying specifically to lunch. The administration specifically can do its part by considering teachers' time, schedule, and needs. A method for this action is having representatives from every grade when making schedules and allowing them to collaborate with their colleagues. Consider and incorporate teachers when developing policies that affect them. Do not overburden teachers with tasks hindering them from giving their full attention to teaching, especially jobs they're not compensated for. Schools must foster an environment of clear communication and respect. Agree on terms of respect and display it by not micromanaging, considering all perspectives and providing professional pay. Being a teacher is a very difficult profession, and it is imperative that we keep them in the classroom. The burden does not fall on administration, parents, or teachers alone, but each party must work together to make a change. Teachers need to be respected as professionals and not expected to do more for less. Education needs to see a change that keeps teachers in the classroom for the long foreseeable future. Here are my sources. Any questions?